Welcome to the Humboldt Network of Family Resource Centers Technology Workshop Series. This workshop focuses on how to do monthly service tracking in HNFRC's new Google Apps system. If you do not have account access, we have a separate video which discusses how to access your account for the first time and how to set up your files and folders necessary for this tutorial. Once you've been set up with your account, you can use this tutorial. To begin, I'll go to mail.google.com. Then I'll type in my credentials. In this case, I'm outreach@hnfrc.org. I'll plug in my password. And from here, I'll go into my Gmail inbox. Now from here, I have two options to get to the monthly service tracking file I need. I can go to the top right to my tile, click on that, and then click on Drive. Or I can directly type in my URL, drive.google.com. Now I'm in my Google Drive. From here, we'll see a couple folders. We've got the HNFRC Member Resource Library. That'll contain general collaborative files. And then we've got our individual member site folders. In this case, I have 2 on 1. You may have Arcata or Blue Lake or Marshall, whichever site you belong to, you'll have their member site folder. So I'll go ahead and enter the member site folder. Now within that folder, I see the monthly service tracking Google Sheet. And Google Sheets is like an Excel file for Microsoft. The first thing I want to do is make sure that I have access to edit this file. So I'll right-click it, and then I can click on Share. And I'll see that the admin is the owner of the file, that Jeanette is an editor, Mark is an editor, that 211 Humboldt, the group, can comment on the file. Now as a commenter, they can only look at the file. They can't actually make any changes. However, myself here, Outreach, I'm an editor. So if you are an editor, great. If you're not an editor, you need to go to the bottom here and request access for your email address to become an editor. And you'll send that request to your manager. Now, once you know that your privileges as an editor are squared away, we'll go ahead and enter the file. And then this is our new monthly service tracking system. So right off the bat, you'll see that we have some categories in our first column, and we have some categorical headers in different rows that are in green. The way that this works is that every monthly service tracking form for each site automatically syncs up with a master form. The network coordinator controls the master form and from there can edit the categories so that you have your categories automatically updated if they ever change. So for example, we add an extra category that we want to track, it'll automatically be updated in your file. There will be no versions, no downloading, no emailing out different versions. So that's a convenience that we have. Now, with these rows and these categories that are the headers, you're not able to edit them. If you were to click on one, you'll get something that says there was a problem. You are trying to edit a protected cell or object. That's what we have in place to make sure that nobody accidentally deletes a category header. Now, we also have this purple section over here with the heading at the top that says totals for all HNFRC members. This is a live readout of the data that all of our members are putting in the aggregate. And it serves as a way for you to look at the data that you're plugging in and see if there are any areas, like for example, DHHS visit assisted. And maybe you don't have any data or any occurrences in this category, but you see a lot of other sites do, bring that back to a network meeting, and it's a good point to speak about. Now, for your own data yourself, you'll be dealing with these blue cells, which is where you'll plug in your data for the month. And so I'll start, and for example, I will say that I had, under program benefits, 20 contacts age 16 to 26, and 100 contacts age 26 to 59. I'll just type those in, and then you'll see these will automatically update over here on the right-hand side to reflect for the aggregate. So that means that my data is passing through and showing up in the aggregate report. Now, if I typed in something and it didn't show up in the aggregate, that's a good time to call the network coordinator. Usually give it about 10 seconds to 20 seconds to read out though. So what I'll do, I'll plug in my data for the month. And then when I'm ready, at the end of plugging in my data, I'll go to the top here on the left, I'll click on File, I'll click on Email as Attachment, which is one of these bottom options, and then I'll get a pop-up window. I will attach the file as a Microsoft Excel document. I'll send it to the network coordinator. That'll be coordinator@hnfrc.org. I'll put my subject in there that's pre-filled, and I'll add in maybe May 2016. You can add a message if you like, but a really important note here is that you'll send a copy to yourself, and you'll click this little box here before you send this file. What this will do, it'll take the current readout of your data, it'll make a hard copy, and it will email that hard copy, which is in Microsoft Excel format, both now to yourself and to the network coordinator. And there's an important reason why we do this, because the data that we put into this system as it is all live. So if we were to go back and remove it later, it would also remove it for the coordinator. So when we do this option to email as an attachment, we save a hard copy both for ourselves and the coordinator, so that if we do end up having data get removed, we have a way to go back and secure it. So I'll go ahead now and send that email attachment. Now, if I were to go back to Gmail, I'll notice that I've got the copy that I sent to myself, sent from HNFRC Outreach, that's me. And here I have the Excel version. I can save that in my email, I can download it. It's my hard copy just for me. Going back to the Google Sheet with our monthly service tracking data, the process here is that at the beginning of the month, the network coordinator will give you the all clear to enter new data for the month. Then at the end of the month, we will have a reporting deadline. Right now it's set for the 10th of each month as a reporting deadline. You'll get your data in by the 10th, and then after the 10th, the network coordinator will take a day or two to leverage all that data, make copies of it, and then probably by the 13th or 14th, you'll get another all clear for the next month. So for that interim period between the 10th and the 13th, if you can leave your data put, that's great. If not, just go ahead and contact the network coordinator, and always make sure, no matter what, to click File and Email as Attachment. That way there's a hard copy of your data. Now at the end of the month, when you're looking to clear your data and put in more data for the next month, you can just go ahead and select any range of blue cells and press Delete, and it'll erase them. Now, if you had data, let's say near a green row that's got a header, and you tried to select over the green row and press Delete, it'll give you an error, since it doesn't let you delete those green headers. So instead, what you'll do is you'll just delete each section of blue cells on its own and not overlap any sections with green headers. So it'll only let you delete one block of blue cells at a time. That's it for the monthly service tracking. If you have any questions, please contact the network coordinator or your tech admin. Thank you very much.